Hello and welcome to another video. It's another Amico video. Yes, another one this week. And today we're looking at the No Swear Gamers. Well, I bet he'd swear if he actually got this console in his hands when it's an absolute mess. But No Swear Gamers look at 5 reasons why he lost his excitement for this for the Intellivision Amico. I am doing this as a blind reaction, so I've not watched this already. Apart from the fact I have fast forwarded it to about 30 seconds in, just because it's a bit of introductory waffle and blah 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 before he actually starts talking about it proper. So yeah, let's just get into it.
Since that time, I've really lost my excitement about it. I'm just no longer excited, and I am not alone.
So yeah, I mean that would happen. I mean he mentioned since that time, the time was October 18 when it was first announced at Portland Retro Gaming Exhibition, I think. And who can blame him? You can understand a bit of a delay, but you know when you get to October 2020 and they missed that date, yeah, okay, knock it on to April 2021. Yeah, you can I understand that. But after that, going on to October 21 and then just missing that again, and just the fact that the games aren't finished and the only bit of gameplay we ever see is just the same games again and again. Shark, maybe biplanes, Astro Trash. Only the bloody shills are still going for it. So you're still expecting the scene to come out along with people who've invested money. But let's continue. He tried doing a poll on his website. I wonder how that turned out.
Poll on my YouTube page where I asked my viewers, how do you feel about the Intellivision Amico since it was launched? Are you more positive today or more negative today compared to when they first announced it? And over 2/3 of the people who responded were more negative
Well, I wonder why. Colour me shocked.
than positive, so they lost their excitement for it. And only 5%, and this is out of like 250 retro gamers, only 5% were more excited today than.
I might try a poll on my page. If you get 250 people replying, gotta get hardly any replies on mine. But it depends how many people YouTube shows your community posts to. Yeah, I get a few people reply sometimes, but not that many. So I don't know how many people actually get to see it. I know it's not just a case of people seeing it and then just ignoring it, but people just not seeing it at all because YouTube is very scarce about what it actually shows to people.
They weren't when they first announced the Intellivision Amico. So I'm definitely not alone about this. And let me just say, I wish no ill will to anyone who's excited about the Amico, to anyone who works at Intellivision Entertainment. I actually want.
Depends. Yeah, I mean, you don't want them to lose their jobs or anything like that. But when television go bust, they will lose their jobs, and the only one who will be sitting pretty in all of this is Tommy. Maybe some other people have got money squirreled away. Surely, if Tommy was so, dead set on this console actually coming out, he'd sell his house or get a second mortgage and put that into the investment for the Amico. But he's not going to do that, is he? He'll just twizzle his moustache, metaphorically speaking, and just say, "Hey, give me money, give me money, give me money." In the hope that you'll give him money, and then he'll just fucking waste it. It's just become a scam at this point.
This product, did you see how that egg just popped up on me? I actually want this product to do well, but I want it to do well because it's a really good product that's worth the price they're asking. And
It's not worth the price they're asking. It can do. I don't know. I've only just got a Nintendo Switch recently. I've not really done much apart from just play basic games. Well, was it G Darius HD and what else have I played on that thing? Space Invaders Extreme. But I presume with those sort of gyroscope things in the Joy Cons, I've not done anything with them really, apart from just throw them about, just play those games basically. So, but all of this is already done before on like the Wii, and which people only bought Wii Sports for that, which was basically I think it was included with the game with the machine anyway. And then the Nintendo Switch, that does similar things, albeit just on a handheld that goes through to a TV. So it's all been done so much better. It's not worth 250 quid, and Tommy's just trying to pack so much into this thing that it's not, and it's clearly not working. If he got it to work and they put out a decent product, fine. But he hasn't, and it's not going to happen. You can't keep flogging a dead horse. That's what he's doing. It's just not going to come out. He tried, he failed. He wants you to give him more money, and then he'll just, he'll file it away, he'll throw it away somewhere, declare bankruptcy, and fuck off with all your money. That's what Tommy Tallarico is going to do at this point.
Now, personally, I don't feel that way. So if you're excited about the Amico, more power to you.
More fool you, more like.
If you're not, that's okay too. Let's just talk, and let me just explain why I personally am not excited about the Amico. So the first thing is the lack of progress I've seen when it comes to especially the games, okay? It is...
Well, precisely. Anytime, as I said, we only ever see the same games coming out again and again. We've only seen that one bit of Earthworm Jim dashing back and forth in about a 5-second gameplay piece. We've seen one level of this, one level of that. Just no finished games. No finished games. Maybe Astrotrash was just calling it Astrotrash now. Maybe that's a finished game. I don't know, but if that's all the game is, then bloody hell, I got my fill with 10 minutes of gameplay on that video the other day playing Astrotrash. So if that's all the game is, I've not played Astro Smash itself, the original one, because I never had Intellivision back in the day. But I was going to call it something else then. But no, it's the Mattel Intellivision. So Intellivision, the console, has become Intellivision, the company name. Oh, it's confusing, isn't it?
Kind of like a little head scratching why the system, like why the operating system isn't done yet. It's been nearly 3 years since it's been announced. So why isn't the operating system done now?
Well, you could say that they're wanting this thing to fail. They'll just take all the money and they'll say, sorry, it didn't work. You're not getting your money back. We've spent it all. So if you want your money back, come and chase us in court and then we'll file for bankruptcy. Meanwhile, they'll have hidden the money away somewhere. So it just seems like a giant scam at this point. Why bother creating something that's going to work? I would have thought the Atari VCS would have been the biggest scam of the decade. But no, it's ended up being the fucking Amico.
Now, this is something that Intellivision themselves has made clear. They are doing a crowdfunding investing campaign over at Fundable.com, I believe it is. And in it, they said, yeah, the operating system isn't done. The back-end support, like the web store, that kind of stuff isn't done. They even said that none of the games, their 6-pack-in games, are not done. They're mostly done, but they're not done yet.
I wonder why.
And that just surprises me that after 3 years, now I can understand, to a degree, why the hardware, why they're still getting parts with COVID and everything.
That's if you believe all of that. He could have. It's made out of the same chip that powered 2016 mobile phones, so they could have easily bought all the chips they needed before, at the start of all this thing. But no, if they did, clearly they didn't. Otherwise, it would have got somewhere. But to blame a chip shortage when you could have, as you say, fixed the roof when the sun is shining. They didn't do that. They waited until a storm had come, and then the shit hits the fan.
But why is the software side not finished, even with COVID? Because this system was supposed to be out a year ago. Programmers could still program from home even when COVID hit. Why isn't the software done?
Why, I wonder.
Games done? Why aren't there any games done yet? I don't understand it.
Because it's a scam.
And whenever I see gameplay videos, for the most part, it seems like half of it is just the same games over and over.
Well, what a surprise.
Again, I don't understand. And I remember,
because it's a scam. What's it to understand?
I think it was 2 years ago, they made a huge deal. Hey, Earthworm Jim is coming to the Amico as Earthworm Jim 4.
Yeah, because get people to get interested in it, give them 10 grand to invest in it, if not more, and then not deliver a product.
They got all the people together who worked on it. They did like a live stream, like a Q&A thing. And since that, like in the past year, all we've seen is like a 30-second clip, and that is it. And that's just kind of
Not well, it wasn't a 30-second clip of Earthworm Jim 4, more like about 5 seconds.
like it just makes you go, huh? Why isn't more done? So the lack of progress is the first reason. The second reason why I'm not as excited as I was when they first announced it is the price increase. When they first announced the system, they said that the price would be either anywhere from $150 to $180. You can look it up in their original press release from October of 2018. And now if you go to like GameStop.com, you will see
GameStop.com, CALM.
the systems are either $250 or $300. Now, to give a little bit of clarification,
It's 250 quid over here if you bought it, well, if you pre-ordered it from Amazon or Argos. I know obviously everywhere had the October the 10th release date at one point. Then it's just, I know last time I checked on Amazon, they've just moved it to a placeholder date of 31st of December 2022. Basically, they know it wouldn't come out. They know once it got delayed in October, for October, they knew that it wouldn't come out, and if it was going to come out, it wouldn't come out until 2022 at the earliest. So whenever they have whenever they put a listing on, say for a DVD or a Blu-ray, whatever, if they don't have an exact date, but they want to put they want to set up a page for that product, they'll just usually put a placeholder date of 31st of December, because they don't want to put a date like today, because then it's going to go past and people are going to be annoyed that they can't buy it. So they just put a date way in the future, basically the end of the year. But obviously in this case, 2022 for the Amico. But either way, it's not coming out.
the $300 system at GameStop.com is an exclusive color, plus it comes with like a $25 gift card. So really, it's kind of like $275, but you still have to pay $300 for it. But that's like a 40% price increase in the system price, and I cannot think of a time. Hey, doing pretty good there. Dropped 2 at a time. I can't think of a time in the past where a video game company said that they were going to launch a system and that the price was going to be, X amount of dollars, and then they raised it much less 40%. That's like a 40% increase to go from 150 to 180.
Because it's a scam.
To $100 or $250. Could you imagine what would have happened if Sony came out at E3 when they announced their first PlayStation, said $299, and then before it came out, they said, actually, we're wrong, it's going to be $400.
I mean, at least with companies like Sony and Microsoft, they sell the consoles at a loss. That's because they have percentage deals for the video games, such that you can sell the console at a loss, but over the lifespan of the console, which is usually about 7 years, you'll more than make your money back. And these days, you more than make your money back later on as well by doing bloody remasters of games. At least we got like the PS5 update of The Last of Us Part 2, for example. At least that was I think it was 4K and 60 frames per second. At least that was something fantastic that we got for free. But they'll make the money back, but later on in the games. But the Intellivision, the Amico, the games, this is presuming anything comes out. The games are $10 max. Pardon me, and so there's no percentage to make the money back on. You either make the money out off the console or bust. So I imagine the Switch works the same with the cost of that console versus they make the money back on the games later. But then again, the console's been out for 4.5 years now, and all they've done is put out a Switch OLED next week, even when they've got pardon me, I've got windy pops. Sorry for this beer, really. They could have put out a 4K console by now. Apparently the plans have come out to do with it, yet they just haven't, because they know they can hold it back another year. They'll probably release a 4K Switch next year in time for Christmas, and just make people buy the same thing again this Christmas with an OLED. The one I've just bought recently is the regular one because I don't need a better screen on that one because I'll just stick it in the dock and record the gameplay on the PC. But yeah, so everyone else will make the money back on the consoles, but Amico can't do that because make the money back on the games, but yeah, they can't do that because the games are too cheap in the first place.
That is basically the equivalent, and it would have been more, been like $415. But that is basically the equivalent of what's going on with this price increase. And for me, and I think for some other gamers, $250 just seems like too much for a system that's going to play $10 games. And I think if the price was still like $150 or $180, it would be a totally different discussion. I think I may still be excited about the system to a degree, but that price, I mean, it's close to what a Nintendo Switch is. Nintendo, even in this post-COVID world, they're showing signs that they're lowering the price of the Switch around the globe. So there's a possibility here in the States, by the time the Intellivision Amico comes out, the Switch will be $250. And if that's the case, if I had $250 to spend and I'm buying a new system, I'm sorry, I'm going to get the Switch. I would. I don't have a Switch. And my guess...
Exactly, that's why, I bought the Switch when it reduced in price from £280 to £260 in the UK. So that's £10 more than what the Amico would cost if that was out now. No one in hell is going to buy an unproven console. It's just £10 less than its much better older brother.
This is a lot of other gamers would be in the same boat where they would say, yeah, I'd rather have a Switch at this point. So the price increase really burned me when it was announced. That's when my excitement really began to wane. So the next reason why I am no longer excited about the Intellivision Amico is quite simply the lack of games that really excite me. So right now, I'd say I am excited about Cloudy Mountain.
What about all those mobile phone games? Aren't they great?
That's like the game, like if I was going to buy one game, that's the game I was going to get. And
But even then, if you bought that one game, it can't do very much. It's only going to cost $10, so it can't have very much in it just for that $10. It's not like it's going to be a full price AAA game. Same with Earthworm Jim 4. I mean, I've not played through the other games, but it's none of these are going to be AAA games. They're going to be extended Flash games at best. Just slightly longer Flash games. But so you're not going to get anything special anyway. And then you're not going to pay £250 for the console just to play one game. It never happens.
I have a little bit of interest in some other games. Like I could easily see myself playing, a little bit of Night Stalker and Astro Smash.
For about 5 minutes.
I'm not super duper excited about those, but oops, I misjudged that one. But I'd play them. Shark, I'm a big fan of. I don't know how much more I can enjoy it than the original, so a little tepid about that. Earthworm Jim 4, I'd be more excited, except I haven't seen anything. I have to see more to really be excited about it. Let's go ahead and use a pepper there. So there really aren't many games that are exciting to me, and if I'm spending $250 on a system, I want to get... I think I'm going to have to use my peppers. I don't like to, but I'm out of peppers. If I'm going to spend that much on a system, I'm not going to spend $250 on a system just to buy 3 or 4 $10 games that really interest me.
Exactly, that's what I've just said. Even just buying the one game. The best thing they can do at this point, if they had any interest in salvaging anything, is just making the games for PC and Switch. Maybe other consoles later. I can understand them putting it out on, Steam and maybe Switch, for a few quid each, to see if people bought them. Maybe later on for PlayStation and Xbox as part of a compilation. But you're not going to get those individually. No one's going to go on the PlayStation store and pay £5 for a single Amico style game when it's the kind of thing you get on a mobile phone for free. But they might buy a compilation of lots of the games for 20 quid.
It has to be more than that, and right now, it just isn't. All right, the number four reason why I'm not excited about the Intellivision Amico anymore is because pretty much I feel like they're overpromising and under-delivering. I really do.
No, really? You only just realised that now?
When they first announced the Amico nearly 3 years ago, they showed us 50 retro game franchises that would be returning with new, all reimagined games. And I was excited. I was excited to see some of those games come back. And then, here, fast forward, 3 years later, and most of those games, I think it's like 40. I did a video called The 40 Missing Intellivision Games. Most of those games are gone, nowhere to be seen. We don't know what happened to them, if they're coming back. And that's just where it's at. Nothing's going on with those games. And
because it's a scam.
that really kind of burned me. I'm like, hey, it's been 3 years. Where is it? Same kind of feeling with Earthworm Jim 4. And I understand, I know the plan. The plan that they're doing is that right now the guys who are working on Earthworm Jim 4, they've kind of said it. They're being kind of repurposed to focus on launching the system. I can kind of understand that, but they're still working on other games. If it was me, I'm saying, you know what? Earthworm Jim 4 has to be a priority. Earthworm Jim 4 is our killer app. We have to work on that. And then...
It does make you wonder how many people are actually working on anything. If you can take people off... I mean, I don't know how many people it takes to make... I mean, it usually takes lots of people to make a single game if it's a AAA title. So how many people are actually working on the $10 title that is Earthworm Jim 4? And I don't know, and how many people would it take to develop the firmware for a console? And are they mutually inclusive? Can you really... I can't program a computer to save my life, but surely programming the firmware for a PlayStation at Sony versus, say, making The Last of Us Part 2 at Naughty Dog are two completely different things. Could all of Naughty Dog's employees go over to Sony and start working on the firmware for the PlayStation 6? Is that a possibility? Ooh, windy pops again. I don't know. Is that a thing? Someone please let me know in the comments. It doesn't sound like something that's workable for me. I don't get it. But this is why it's whiffs of bullshit. You know, you can go from just doing nothing to making the firmware. So, well, from writing a game supposedly to doing something with the firmware. And what happened with the people who were working on the firmware previously? Where have they gone? I think this, it's like maybe they've got a high turnover of staff. It's a bit like if you remember at school, you had to do those stupid pictures. Maybe as a kid, the stupid pictures where one person would draw a head for a body, then you fold the paper over. The next person draws the torso, or whatever, then you fold it over. And then you have other bits and other bits and other bits. And then you eventually get to the point where someone draws the feet and you fold it over. And then at the end of it, you open up the piece of paper and you look and see what people have done as a collective thing, collaboration, without actually sort of realising, without knowing what other people have done in the past. And you look at the picture and you think, my God, what the hell is that? And that's what it sounds like the Amico firmware will turn into. Just some sort of Frankenstein bollocks. Scam.
You say, hey, we're coming out with this system. Originally, it's going to be $150 to $180, and then they raise the price. And I feel like that's a little bit over-promising and under-delivering. And just all this stuff that happens, it seems like every time news breaks on the Intellivision, it's not for the better. It's kind of more for the worse. And I just get this feeling that I can't...
That was a good shot with that drop of the burger bun, by the way.
Can't trust them as much. And that does bring me to my final point.
You mean you could trust them in the first place? I mean, it did seem a good idea at first, and then it just seemed to turn into something that wasn't going to come out the more they keep cancelling it. And then Now it just whiffs of scam with the Fundable. Scam, scam, scam.
Final reason why I'm no longer excited about the Intellivision Amico is because I kind of feel like I can't trust them anymore.
No, really?
Because they've had multiple delay dates, multiple delays. They say, hey, we're going to launch here. They've had 3 different launch dates. None of them have been fulfilled. They promised 50 games that would be coming to the Intellivision Amico. 3 years later, we've only seen about 10 of those games. They tell me how this system's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to be worth your money, and so far, I don't see it. I don't see how I can trust them. They've also said how, once the Intellivision launches, we're going to have a new game every week.
Once it launches, which it won't do.
Every week, we're going to have a new game announced for the system. Ooh, let's get that. Every week, we're going to have a new game announced for the system. How can I trust that you're going to be able to do that? How can I trust that you're going to be able to...
Especially if they can't put out the games they planned after 3 years.
Continue to support the system after I purchase it, because remember, this...
In fact, well, that's like the Atari VCS. Atari, in its current form, which isn't the original Atari, just pushed a shitty product out the door. Okay, they got the product out the door. But you can push I could do a turd in my toilet, put that in a brown paper bag, and I could put that outside my front door. I could say, there, I've delivered a product. No one in my neighbourhood would thank me for it. And, then rather than care for and nurture that product and tend to it and all the rest of it and say I've got big plans for it, I then just leave it. I've pushed my product out the door, I've charged everyone $400 to look at it, and then I do nothing about it ever since. I've got the money. I've got the money for it. Why do I need to do anything else to it? Well, I've delivered it. Why do I then just say, yeah, I've got this plan for it, I've got that plan for it, and then I don't need to actually deliver any of it because I've done it. I've delivered my shitty product. I mean, Atari, they're just not bothering. Last I heard, they just push it out the door, and you never hear anyone talking about it in any positive light. In fact, at all, no one ever talks about it at all. But even people who bought it, I think it must just sit at home like a paperweight, a bit like my Ouya. People said the Amico was like Ouya 2. At least the Ouya came out. But so they've got no interest in pushing anything out, or even updating it further along the line. Once you got your piece of shit console, if you ever do, which you won't.
System is basically a cloud-based system. It's an online system. You're not going to have physical game cartridges that if something happens that you can just plug in and play. Like this Intellivision I'm playing right now. I have a physical cartridge. I'm playing it decades later than when it was first released. I could still play the Intellivision Amico or the regular Intellivision to this day because of the physical media. The physical media they're coming out with is not the same thing. It's going to be connected probably to their web store. You scan it on your system and it downloads it. But
yeah, it's just an RFID tag at best. We never did actually see inside the boxes, probably because the boxes were empty. But it was just planned to be just a little thing that then something that connects to the machine and just sort of tells the machine to download the game from the store. But then as soon as you close the store down, that's it. It's gone. And at best, you might have someone. I don't wonder if some of them would then, if the Amico store went offline and Intellivision went bust. I wonder if you could. If someone hacked them all and then put them online, and then you could tweak the firmware of the Amico to look somewhere else for the games. But yeah, no one would really bother with that. I think at best all they'd do is create an emulator for that emulated the Amico and take all the games that were available and just put that into one big torrent. That's about as much as you could hope for it at that point. And even if someone does that, that completely negates the point of having spent several $100s on a console and the games, because you can just get them for free off the internet.
happens when that web store goes away, I'm guessing all you'll be able to play is your downloaded games. So what happens?
At best, I once had my my Steam account hacked. This was when I learned to do this is the point where I learned to do two-factor authentication for the Steam my Steam account. But even though all these games are on my PC, I guess you could probably run them separately, but it's just easier to go to the Steam thing and run them from there. But it was just I couldn't access my Steam account at all. Someone else had changed the password. How they did it, I don't know. And it took 2 days. I contacted Steam. It took Valve, whoever. It took them 2 days to actually get it all sorted out. It's fantastic when it happened, when it was all sorted. But my God, that was scary. So imagine if the Steam store, imagine if Valve went bust and if no one took them over, which is pretty. It's unlikely they'll go bust anyway, and if they did, it's likely someone else would take them over because it's a cash cow. But if they went bust and there was no way of, I'm sure you'd have the games that are on your hard drive now, but beyond that, what if you couldn't access the games which are on their server, which you hadn't downloaded yet? I mean, the more I downloaded the games, the more space it takes up on the hard drive, and I've got to uninstall games in order to install the other games. So you're never going to have all the games on your hard drive. So you just lose out on so many games, and that's what would happen with the Amico. You just lose all your games. It will happen with Stadia when that falls apart.
If the Intellivision Amico, is struggling right out the gate, they're not producing games every month like they said they would. And what happens if they just say, you know what, we ran out of money? They've had to do like 3 different crowdfunding or 2 different crowdfunding campaigns, even though they said they weren't going to crowdfund. And yeah, I know that's not the same as a Kickstarter. They're not crowdfunding the purchase of the system, but there's still crowdfunding going on, even though they said they wouldn't, and they should somewhat admit to that, to be honest with you. But you made all these promises, and here's what I basically have to say.
Promises are easy when you can just say, yeah, here's the promises, and just give us money through the Fundable or through investment. Give us $10,000.
What promises have you kept so far that really pertain to me? Yes, the games,
they promise to take your money.
The games will meet your little criteria, and some games every game will have like a single player mode and a multiplayer mode. Those promises seem to be kept. But as far as like the delivery date, the price, the games that are going to come on this system, where is the consistency? So that's just something that kind of makes me lack the trust. Now, am I saying that I would never get an Intellivision Amico? No, there's a possibility I will. If it comes out, and I do believe it will come out, when it comes...
It's not coming out. Fucking hell. What makes you think it's that? What gives you confidence this scam thing is coming out?
Comes out. If it turns out to be extremely fun, because it's all about the fun, if more games get announced that really interest me, I could see myself getting an Intellivision Amico at some point in the future. But it's right now I have to take a wait and see approach. I have to see, and maybe they'll do a price drop. Maybe that would interest me if they're continuing to support it. But at this moment in time, I am a person who at one time...
Yeah, maybe if it does come out and it's 20 quid in game, like when I bought the Ouya, yeah, then I'll get it. Beyond that, no.
Was really excited about the Intellivision Amico, and today I just am not. I'm interested in what's going on and the developments of it, but as far as actually purchasing one, right now that would be a no. So that's just my thoughts. That's just my feelings. And this information could be really helpful to Intellivision because it can help them see why some people, and according to a poll I did, a lot of people, why they're losing interest in the system and how they could potentially get them back. Keep your word. If you can, lower the...
Keep their word. All they want to do is keep your money.
price. Get some games that really excite people in general. You know, get some get more of those retro game franchises to come back. And then we might be talking, but
Yeah, but they had those and then they lost them because they've all disappeared. People got fed up of waiting.
right now, I'm just not.
In fact, they might have, even if they had the licenses when they said they did, for like 50 games, I think you said, those licenses could have expired by now because the thing was supposed to be out by now. It's supposed to have brought the game out, and then people should have bought it by now. But then they didn't bring it out, and the license expired. That's probably what's happened in a lot of cases.
I'm not sure. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Please keep it civil. I really don't like how the Intellivision Amico discussion has become toxic, where there's people who immediately judge you and your character based on if you like a system that hasn't even been released yet. I think that's crazy. I don't think it's a scam. I do think it is going to come out, but
It went a long way around for that. He could have just gone to the right and gone up that little bit of ladder. Look, he has his little...
like a system that hasn't even...
He has his little man here. Goes up to the next level.
Been released yet. I think that's crazy.
He should just have kept going to the right and then up that blue ladder bit to the bun. But he goes all the way around. What?
I don't think it's a scam. I do think...
It is a scam.
It is going to come out, but I do have a lot of questions about it. So let me know your comments in the comments below, and I will see you next time on the next No Swear Gamer video, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of laid-back format. See you later.
Yeah. There we go. It's not coming out. It's a scam. Anyway, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell for all notifications. I've got to go through that Tommy rant on Reddit as well soon, so I'll do that as well. My health is getting slightly better. Kind of shaking off this cold. I had a really crappy time when I had my head was all woozy. It just all went. The room was swaying, and I went to bed. I was going to say last night, but by the time you watch this video, it'll be the night before. And I went to bed at about 1 o'clock-ish, and then maybe 20 past 1. And then I thought, because of my advancing years, the chance of me getting a sleep all in one, an uninterrupted sleep for 7 hours is impossible, almost impossible these days. But I did it. I went to sleep, and then next thing I know, I sort of felt like I was waking up, and I was like, my eyes were still shut. I thought, am I asleep? Am I waking up? No, I can feel I'm about to wake up. And I should just really open my eyes. And open my eyes. And usually the easiest way to see what time it is not look at the clock, which requires getting up, or just sort of sitting up and turning around, but just grab the remote for the TV in the bedroom and press the button. And I put it on, and it was about 8:15. So I thought, wow, I slept straight through 7 hours. And I didn't even need the toilet straight away. Bonus. So, yeah, that's a little bit of insight into my life. Anyway, so yeah, please like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all the notifications, and cue Genesis.